Oh, hey everybody! Welcome to the channel. This is a little bit of a different one. We've done this in the past a couple times. We've talked about all the guns in Apex Legends, but uh, today I wanna go over all the guns for Season 4. Not a lot has changed between Season 3 and 4. Obviously, that was the worst intro ever. I don't do intros. I'm sorry. I'm a live streamer. I don't do videos like this, but I figured we'd do it. Why not? So we're gonna go into firing range. We're gonna talk about every gun in the game. I'm not gonna do a ranking type thing, simply because I think that ranking weapons is a little bit silly. It's all personal preference. It's all about what you like as a player. Some people prefer really high rate of fire weapons. They're really good at controlling the recoil, so high rate of fire isn't a big deal. Some people are more into slower firing, more accurate weapons. Sorry, little sip of coffee there. But yeah, everybody likes different styles of weapons. So I don't want to do like a ranking type thing. But I think that this will work out just fine. So we're gonna do what we did in the last video, and we're gonna work our way from left to right of the firing range. And the reason I'm doing this is that I think that a lot of the guns don't start getting good until here. Like, I'm not personally a big fan of the energy weapons, at least situationally. Sometimes they're good, sometimes they're not. But I feel like it starts getting decent around the heavy weapons, starts getting really good. Or I'm sorry, snipers. I keep forgetting snipers are here. Snipers are solid, and then it starts getting good with the heavy weapons, and it starts getting pretty damn really good with the lights, and then shotties end up being also super good. But yeah, we'll just talk about these things really super duper quick. We gotta grab one of those, we'll grab one of those, then we gotta grab one of these. Boom, we'll grab a little bit of ammo for it. Let's go grab a backpack as well. So first gun up. Let's drop that. Let's drop that. We'll grab an LStar as well while we're here. Grab one of these, grab one of these. Alright, so first up is the Havoc. So one of the things they did with Season 4 is that they added a select fire receiver as a hop-up for the Havoc, which is very bizarre. They took away the turbocharger, so instead you can go from regular automatic, or you can switch it and fire off one big beamed pulse shot. Some people really like the single shot. I think it's really cool for like medium to long range sniping. If you're trying to be, if you're a fan of like scout rifle type of weapons, like if you're a Destiny player and you like those single shot, super accurate weapons, high damage weapons, the Havoc would probably work out really well for you. The only downside to it is that wind up is tricky. So from my experience, in a lot of cases while using the single fire mode, what ends up happening is I'll get a shot on somebody and then they immediately start to run away, right? And then by the time you get that second shot wound up, they're probably either already behind cover or in between. Like, look at how long it takes to fire, right? By the time that second shot comes out, they can easily do a full spin on you and they can shoot at you. So I think that the single fire mode, while it's good, if you're trying to do like some really crazy snipes with it, so like, where is it? There we go. So like if you're trying to do like something like decent range, so like, I don't know, let's say we want to go back here, right? Whoopsies. If we're trying to do like it's great for this kind of stuff. So like that's, very accurate, a lot of damage. It's great. The only downside is that it takes the time to kill with the single shot, even with body shots, it takes a while. So I'm not a particularly big fan of the single fire. Situation to situation, sure, but not a big fan of it. And as always, the full auto is just lovely. The time to kill difference is crazy. And where you start to really notice it, where you start to notice it is when you come into like longer range, just because the recoil on this gun is so nuts. I think if you're doing anything medium to close range, obviously full auto is where you really want to be at. But if you're doing anything like somewhat long distance, the single shot is absolutely fine. Single shot gives you a little bit of extra damage. So like you could see, That's a 90, right? That's a 90 on single shot. And that's 36 on regular. So you're doing about the same damage as 3 rounds in one. But yeah, the Havoc, it's fine. I'm not the type of guy that's going to use it in the end game. I got a lot of friends that do. But it is absolutely not for me. It is 100% not a gun that I want to use. But again, that's up to you. You know, people have different tastes in the weapons they want to use. And that's kind of why I'm not really particularly, like, fond of it. But it's all personal preference. So we'll get down to the LStar. The LStar, I think, is probably one of the most controversial guns in the game right now. Wow, did I really just spend 5 minutes on the Havoc? All right, I gotta speed this up. So the LStar, it was a care package weapon, and it was changed to a regular drop weapon, or spawn, whatever you want to call it, a regular weapon for Season 4. It's basically an energy AR. The only downside to it that I really think that it has is that its accuracy is a little bit wacky. It can be very difficult to control, especially if you're somewhat at a decent range. But doing, you know, burst fire on it is not bad. One of the big upsides to it is that you don't have a magazine. And so the way that it works is if you look, right at the bottom of our scope, we have that little bar. And that's going to show us how close we are to overheating. Once you overheat, then it does this. And then you go through the reload animation, you're good. So the cool thing with this gun is that you can essentially, if you stack up on energy ammo, you can just shoot this thing forever. You know what I mean? Like, this gun is great for laying down cover fire. Like, it's really, really amazing for cover fire, because it doesn't have a magazine. You know, it just feeds directly off your bag. So like, if you want, you can just, you know, like, it's crazy. It's an unlimited magazine. So that's what it's got going for. Unlimited magazine. Recoil's a little bit nuts. I don't know. A lot of people love this gun. I'm not a fan, particularly. I really don't like the LStar that much. I think if you're just dropping into a zone, like if you fly in as the only gun there, it's fine. Its hip fire isn't horrible either. But I think that for like a long game gun, you know, end game, last couple rounds, not great. But LStar's fine. Pretty much all the energy weapons are absolutely fine. LStar, Havoc, fine. And we are going to do the care package weapons, but we're going to do that after. So now we will get to the new. This is the Sentinel. So this is the gun that just came out with Season 4. I gotta tell you, man, I have a real love-hate relationship with this thing. So one of the cool things with this gun is that not only is it a sniper, but it also has this very cool ability where you can use one of these, a shield battery, and you can use it to charge up your magazine, which gives you disruptor rounds. So basically what disruptor rounds are going to do is, oh, we got to find a guy with full. So this guy right here melts their shield away, which is super cool. So as long as you hit somebody with those disruptor rounds, their shield is gone. So that's kind of nifty. It's kind of a cool feature, kind of a cool function. And you can just keep charging it up so long as you have shield batteries. You can just keep charging it up. I personally, I don't think that it's totally I don't think it's totally worth it. Hang on, let me empty this out real quick. So I don't think that in exchange for a shield battery is super worth it, unless you happen to, you know, have a bunch of shield batteries. Only because it actually does pretty decent damage without the disruptor rounds. What? So like, if you're getting headshots, no matter what, you're gonna take away that shield plus a little bit of extra health. So the only thing you really miss out on is, you know, that extra 20 or 30 damage, which yes, it is very useful. It is kind of a big deal. But for me, I don't know. I'm not a super big fan of the disruptor rounds. They're just not for me. But they're cool. They're definitely cool. But as far as a sniper rifle goes, this is kind of, I think, what you want in a sniper rifle. The bolt action makes it feel really authentic. It's super accurate. The bullet drop is basically non-existent. So like these shots go so far. They go so far until it starts to drop. So like these are the super far targets, and with most of these guns, you have to aim pretty crazy low. But with this one, you don't. You only have to go down a couple notches for this one to actually hit. Right there should do it. No. I think I'm overshooting actually. I can't tell. I don't know. This scope is, there we go. I was gonna say this scope is not good for long range, but with most of these weapons, you'd have to aim like way up here for it to hit. But the drop on this weapon is almost non-existent. So it's absolutely fantastic. Not like, you know, even if you're trying to do like super crazy long range shots, this gun can do it. This gun is an absolutely amazing sniper rifle. Its reload is a little bit insane. It takes a minute having to cock it, and then when you actually go to reload it, it does take a second. I don't know why I used the word insane. That was just stupid. But I think this is probably my favorite sniper rifle in the game right now. It just feels so good to use. But keep in mind that if you happen to switch your weapons, you're gonna have to cock it again, just like the Peacekeeper. So keep that in mind. No quick switching, none of that shit. But the Sentinel, absolutely amazing. It's a great sniper rifle. Very fast traveling rounds again. Almost no bullet drop. Hits very hard. 130 to the head. 65 to the body. Even with armor. Boom. It's a great gun. Absolutely great gun. So now we'll move on to this guy. Which not much has changed on the charge. Since Season 3 left, we haven't really seen too much of a difference. It's still extremely powerful. It still does a ridiculous amount of damage. Especially if you get a headshot, it's an instant melt. Like, watch. Like, it's wild. It's freaking wild. So it's basically, you're basically gonna melt their shield away. And you're gonna just destroy the player. Like, you're gonna absolutely destroy them. Now I want to see, yeah, okay. But yeah, it's wild. But it's a charge rifle. There's not a whole lot to say about it. If you're looking to just dish out damage and you're looking to support your teammates, there's really not much of a better weapon out there. You know, you can use it to track your enemies. You can use it for whatever you want. It's an extremely versatile gun. I think that the 2x or the 3x scope on it is probably the best. You know, it's just a good gun. It's a good, fun gun. Dishes out a bunch of damage in a very short amount of time. The reload takes quite a while, so beware of that. But no, it's a good gun. This thing it's been there since Season 3. Nothing's really changed. Or, no, it came in, what, Season 2? I don't know. I wasn't here for it. But yeah, charge rifle feels about the same as it did in Season 3. I don't think they changed too much with it. But it's a really good gun. It's solid, it's fun. If you're into those like ray type of guns, laser guns, whatever, charge rifles for you. Longbow, here we go. Alright, so we gotta get a magazine and a barrel stab on here. Here we go, boom boom. So this is another one of the classics. Longbow's been here since the beginning. And it's just a heavy hitter. And for those guys that don't know, in Season 4, they removed all the snipers from their weapon classes, so this is no longer a heavy weapon. The charge rifle is no longer an energy weapon, neither is the triple take. They're actually all in the sniper category now, so you can't just stack up on energy or heavy or whatever and just clip people from around the map. Even though the ammo, it definitely drops a little bit less. It drops a little bit less than regular ammo types does. Sniper ammo is definitely a little bit more rare, but it's not really, it shouldn't stop you from wanting to pick up a sniper. You still find tons of this ammo all over the map. But the Longbow is a absolutely amazing gun. Tons of damage, 118 to the head, 55, 55, 55, 55. So if you're shooting at enemies that are, you know, a decent distance away and you don't want to aim for the head, you can just pop them a couple times from a distance and you're good. See, that's where I get messed up still. Ooh, is like strafe shooting, like the bullets fuck me up. But yeah, it's a great gun. This feels more like a scout type rifle to me. It doesn't really feel like a sniper. I know that it is, but it definitely feels more like a single fire sort of AR more than anything. But it is a sniper. It is. I'm just dumb. But yeah, Longbow feels great. 118 to the head, so 2 tap at the head like most snipers. This thing is just crazy. Big hits to the body as well. You know, one of the great things with Longbow is that, again, you know, a teammate can stand off to the side a little bit and just dunk a couple rounds onto an enemy, and they've just removed most of their health, and it's great for cover fire. It's an amazing weapon for cover fire, you know, so long as you have some type of an extended mag on it. But yeah, it's a Longbow, man. There's not much to say about it. It's a fucking great gun. Alright, so now the triple take. So the one thing that you might, what was I gonna say? Right. So, and then I haven't talked about this with the snipers, even though I should have, and for some reason it didn't pop into my head until the triple take. But the thing you might have noticed with the triple take on here is that we got extended mags back again, and what they did is these used to be extended energy mags. And now they're swapped over to just sniper magazines. So energy mags are gone, but they've now been reused for sniper mags, which I think is super cool. So as we all know, triple take, it does have a hop-up option, which is the choke. Same thing as the Peacekeeper. So what it does is it takes this gun, and as you can see, it shoots off 3 bullets, right? So you got 3 rounds. And with the choke, where is it? What you can do is it'll make sure that those 3 bullets group together into one shot. And it hits for big damage. So 69 a shot right there. And if we scope in, we're doing 69 as well, but we're doing it across 3 bullets. So depending on how you hit your target, you know, you can completely miss, like here. Like only 1 of our shots hit. Or 2. I guess the first couple shots were 2. But yeah, anyway. So it groups together those rounds, which is really nice. It does a ton of damage. The rate of fire on it is really, really good. It's just great. I love the triple take. I honestly think it's one of my favorite guns. I wish that I used it more than I do. The only downside with the choke is that it does take a second to wind it up all the way for you to be able to actually get off that high damage shot. But it's so worth it. The damage is so insane. It's like, you know, 138 to the head. Come on. Like, that's just craziness. Yeah, it hits like a truck. The rate of fire is really good, especially if you don't really care so much about the windup. Like if you're at like a somewhat close range and you're not trying to like go nuts, you can honestly use this thing as a sniper or as a shotgun if you really want to. I got a lot of friends that do it. They run just like a 2x on this thing, with or without a choke, and they just use it as like a close range monster, which is just bananas. It's pretty much a shotgun that just shoots on a horizontal plane. So I don't know, man. Triple take's amazing. It's a fucking amazing gun. I love the triple take. Big damage with or without the choke. You know, even without the choke, you're still gonna hit hard. You know. Obviously depending on your range, depending on how many of those shots actually hit. But it's a great gun. Love the triple take. So now let's move off of shotguns, or off of sniper rifles. Drop all you, and we'll run over here. The Wingman, boom. We gotta grab ourselves a mag, and let's put a 2x on there, I guess. Yeah, I'll put a 2x. So the Wingman, again, classic gun, classic OG gun. Everybody loves the Wingman. Hashtag bring back Skull Piercer. So the Wingman is basically Apex's version of the Desert Eagle. If you haven't played Apex before and you don't know what the Wingman is, it's basically a hard-hitting, high-powered hand cannon. It's gonna work like, like I said, like the Desert Eagle, or a lot of games have like a Magnum revolver type of thing that's a really hard-hitting pistol. The Wingman is Apex's version of that. One of the things that changed with it going into Season 4 is that it used to spawn in with a 4-round magazine, and now it spawns in with a 5-round magazine. I also believe they dropped the damage a little tiny bit, but it's still an amazing gun. If you're the type of person that really likes to just like kind of take your time with aiming and chunk away your enemies, this gun is absolutely great for it. Even with body shots, you're still chunking them. Depending on your accuracy, this gun can work out very well for you. It can work out very badly for you, but it's all dependent on your playstyle. Again, as somebody that used to love using the Desert Eagle in Counter-Strike, it feels really cool to come in here and play with the Wingman. For me though, my accuracy in game, like while actually playing, isn't what I would like it to be, so it's kind of a hindrance for me to use a Wingman. But they're absolutely great guns. At least for, especially early on. If you drop in and the only gun you can get your hands on is a Wingman, you are gonna chunk the hell out of your enemy. So like, alright, so he's broken, a little bit of health gone. But if you're just spawning in, oopsies, like, you're gonna melt your enemies so quickly. Like, you're gonna absolutely melt them. So the Wingman is great if you're looking for that single shot badass type of pistol, or just weaponry in general, man. This gun would be great for you. So now, hang on. So now, we're getting into the Spitfire, one of my personal favorites. And again, I really wish I used this a little bit more than I do, because this gun is great. But the Spitfire, it's an LMG, man. It's what can you say about it? It's an LMG. One of the downsides is that each individual bullet doesn't hit for that much. Headshots, decent, but body shots, 18 is like, it's good. But it's nothing crazy. It's not like Wingman status, which makes it good. If it hit that hard, it'd be the most OP gun of all time. But you're looking at a decently high rate of fire LMG. Holds a lot of ammo. A 55-round magazine is no joke. And the nice thing with it is that the recoil isn't that bad. So like, it gets a little bit nutty at the end of the magazine, but it's not that bad, especially if you're using it at burst fire. You can pretty much just melt your enemy from any range that you want. It does start getting the bullet drop does start to get a little bit intense towards the end of the towards like medium range, which I'd consider this like long range. But it's still very, very useful. And I mean, look at this magazine size. Ready? Look how many enemies we can kill with one magazine. Ready? We almost killed 2 full squads with one magazine. And if you're getting headshots, I mean, you're in even way better shape. I mean, that's like 2.5 squads you can kill. I mean, I don't think anybody's going to get that many headshots, but the possibilities there. Huge magazine, good damage, good rate of fire, good accuracy. The Spitfire is just a beast, and I do recommend getting it and using it with burst, because as you can see, once you start getting towards the end of the magazine, the recoil starts getting nuts. So like here, let's show you up against this floor. Ready? Just watch the way the crosshair moves. Like, it starts getting really nuts towards the end there. So... Look at that, 990 damage. That's crazy, dude. That's so nuts. But yeah, great gun. Absolutely amazing gun. 100% recommend it. Any day of the week. Now this is another one. This is one of those guns that I think more people really should get into. The Prowler. So as it is when you first pick it up, it is a burst fire SMG. Quick burst too. Look at this. Like absolutely incredibly quick rate of fire. Controlling it is a little bit weird. Because look at that jump. One of the things one of my buddies likes to do is this. Because he's not great with recoil, so he'll aim at like somebody's stomach or chest. And the bolts will travel up to the head. But you're a lot better off just actually aiming at the head and dragging it down. You know? Look at that. It's like a 2 burst right there. It actually is a 2 burst if you're actually good with it, which I am not. But yeah, the rate of fire is what makes this gun really insane. Even on burst fire, like it's just wild. It puts out so many rounds so quick. But the nice thing, and not enough people use it, is the select fire receiver. Turns this thing fully automatic. So you end up with an extremely quick rate of fire, pretty high damage weapon. And its accuracy is actually pretty good too. I'm just not good at controlling recoil on it. But it hits pretty damn hard. It hits almost as hard as the Spitfire does, but its rate of fire is much, much higher. 100% recommend. I really want to start using this gun a little bit more because it does hit like a truck. But there's not much to say about the Prowler, man. It's basically Apex's P90, you know? High damage output, very, very, very quick rate of fire. If you're somebody that really enjoys using SMGs, you'll like the Prowler, I'm sure. It used to be really trashy, and now it's gotten a lot better. I don't really recommend it though without the select fire. If you have a select fire, which it seems like it's a pretty popular Havoc to spawn, it's worth it. But without it, it's tough to say. Now this bad boy right here, this is my gun. This thing is 100% my gun right here. Actually, let's pick this up while we're at it. Boom, boom. So the Hemlock is my boy, right? It's a burst fire, much like the Prowler. Very, very quick fire rate. There is a pause in between each burst, unlike the Prowler where you can spam it. But they did increase the rate of fire on this, which is really nice. But it's very, very quick. It's very, very accurate. Absolutely amazing gun. But the thing I like to do is throw this bad boy in single fire mode and use it like a scout rifle. I mean, it just hits like a truck, dude. And it fires so quick, too. Look at this. Like, that's bananas. Yeah, rate of fire is nuts. Damage is really good. Accuracy is amazing. You know, it holds a solid 30 rounds in the mag. Sorry about that pause. I couldn't remember if it was 28 or 30. But yeah, Hemlock, absolutely amazing gun. I love the Hemlock, and you really should too. Not enough people use this gun, and it's so worth it. If you're like close range, the burst fire is probably your best friend. But if you're, you know, medium range at all, definitely go for that single fire. And this thing is basically a sniper rifle. I love it. I love this gun so much. How did I lose shield? How did that happen? Let's go up here. So like you can still use it on burst fire and it's fine. But I definitely prefer, just because there's no hop. Like, I've melted people with this gun from a distance, and they've had no idea where I was. Like they've, you know, I've had people literally like chilling trying to open up a box, and you just dunk one of these on them, and they're like, how am I dying right now? Like, what am I getting hit with? And they never expected to be a Hemlock, but it is, and it's amazing. All right, so we gotta put a stock on this bad boy and an anvil receiver. There we go. All right, so this is another one. So the Hemlock, or the Flatline, is very interesting. So it's basically Apex's AK-47. It's a fully automatic assault rifle. It's a good gun. It's a very, very good gun. Decent damage output. 19 body, 38 to the head. So very, very similar to the Spitfire. But the one thing that makes this a very interesting gun, and right off the bat, I do recommend this gun. I love the Flatline with a good. I hate the iron sights, but with a decent like 2x or 1x or something on it, this gun becomes amazing. But the one thing that I love about this gun, the one thing that I absolutely love about the Flatline, is the anvil receiver. So if you guys haven't seen the anvil receivers, you're not really used to them. It uses a little bit of extra ammo, and it reduces your rate of fire, but in trade, you get a lot more damage on single fire mode. So it doesn't work on full auto, but on single fire, it works like a charm. So on auto mode, 38 to the head. On single mode, 86. So you're looking at a 3-shot to the head, and they're dead. And even body shots, it's still pretty good. 5 to the body. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Boom. So you can see that the rate of fire has gotten quite a bit worse. But the thing is, and it's not great for close up. Like, still use your full auto in close up. But where this comes into handy is when you're in, you know, one of those positions where maybe it's final circle and your last squad you got to fight is coming at you. You guys have high ground. The great thing is you can chunk your enemies from up top, fire off one shot, chunk them, and not really have to panic, because they're gonna see this crazy big damage coming in and not know what to do with it. One of the most insane things I've ever seen was me and a squad. Me and one guy were running. I had a R301. He had a Flatline. We both were running the anvil receiver, and we both were like, "Yo, let's just use single fire on these guys, see what happens." The enemy literally died in like the blink of an eye. Like, I think I got off like 2 shots and he got off a couple shots, and it was so unbelievably quick. So like, they were dead. Like, that quickly they were dead. It was stupid. So multiple anvil receivers on the same squad, the damage output is just absurd. So the Flatline, 100% recommend it with or without the anvil. Either way, it's really good. But if you can get an anvil receiver, absolutely use it. It's great on full auto. It's great on single fire mode. Flatline all the way, every day. So now we get to actually move on to some of my favorite weapons. So we're gonna do this, the light weapons. Give me that. Let me see. What do we want? We need a barrel and we need a mag. Boom. Stock on some of these goodies. Oops, didn't mean to drop that. I'll spawn back in a second. Hang on. So this is one of the most common guns you're gonna find, is the R45. And I gotta be honest, man, I really don't like this gun at all. I think that... Sorry, I need my nicotine. Hang on. So I think that the rate of fire on the R45 is a little bit too high for its own good. Why is this thing not charging up? Come on, man. This thing is so freaking weird. There it goes. Alright, so we'll let that bad boy charge up here for a minute. Okay, sweet. So, R45. Super crazy high rate of fire. Look at this. Its recoil's fine, but the downside with it is that it's a pistol at heart, so its damage isn't all that amazing. 17 to the head is pretty wild. You know, like, it's so low. It's so low. The rate of fire kind of helps. So like you can kind of chunk away if somebody's close. But the downside is that it just burns through ammo. Like we have a mag on this, and we have a level 3 mag on this, and we're only at 25 rounds. So if we took that off, we'd be down to 16. And you burn through it so quick with this gun. So like early on, if you just drop in, so like let's pretend, let's see if we can get this down. Hang on. So like let's pretend that we just dropped in. The only gun we can get was an R45. Maybe they have like level 1 armor or something. This is like chunk level 1 armor, but just for the sake of testing, they have level 1 armor. You have no magazine for it, but you do have your R45. You're out of ammo. You know what I mean? So like it takes so much. It takes so much to kill somebody with this gun. And if you're accurate with it, you know, it's fine. If you can actually, like, you know, keep the bullets on them, it's okay. But I don't know. I can't do it. I really can't do it. It burns through ammo so quick, and the damage is so low. You know, if I had to choose between a Mozambique and an R45, I would take the R45 all day. But it's outside of just, I just dropped in and I need a gun right now. Outside of that scenario, the RE45 I really don't think has a whole lot of use. I think something they could do to make the RE45 a little bit better is if maybe they allowed for like an anvil receiver, like maybe you can switch it to single fire, and you can use it as you know, a single shot high damage weapon or something. Or if they allowed a select fire on there and you could run it in burst, and maybe on burst mode its accuracy was a lot better. So instead of that hop, it just stayed still. That would probably make it a little bit better. But like this gun outside of close range is extremely difficult to use. Like if you're over here, there's no way that you're going to be able to just hold that trigger and keep that target on him. Like it's just so hard. You can do it with like a burst fire, but even then it's just not worth it. I just don't think the RE45 is worth anything unless, like I said, you just dropped in, it's the only gun that's available to you, then sure, it's fine. But as far as like actually playing, I don't think this gun sees anything outside of round 1. I really don't. Like, I'm pretty sure this gun gets picked up right off the rip and then it never sees action after that. So now we'll move on to the P20, probably one of the most controversial guns, I would say, at least on my channel. So the interesting thing with this is that you do get hammer point rounds, which I think is very interesting, and it actually could be a very good feature for the RE45. But then again, its rate of fire is so high that it might just end up being a little bit too OP for a starter gun. But the P2020, single fire, it's basically a USP. 13 body, 20 head, so it's not crazy good damage, but the interesting thing is that its recoil is almost non-existent. So you can easily mag dump right into somebody's head and not even have to try. Even at medium distance, you're still good. So it's still really, it's a solid gun. For right off the bat, it's fine. If you can chunk away at somebody, you know, you get into a fight right off the bat and you can dump a couple of rounds into somebody, you at least scared them off enough, they're going to back off. But what makes this gun interesting is the hammer point. If you don't know what hammer point is, it basically increases how much damage you do to their health, not to their shield, but to their health. So if you burn through an enemy's shield and they're down to just health, you start doing way extra damage. So without it, okay, so without hammer point on, we're looking at 13 to the body, 20 to the head, right? Now if you put hammer point on, once he spawns in here, and you can tell that it makes it sound way more aggressive when you put hammer point on it, which I think is really cool. But now we jump to 35 body, 53 head. So you're doing significantly more damage. You're doing crazy extra damage. So one thing that some people like to do, and I don't think it's for me, But like, so one of the popular guns you can find off the bat is the alternator. There's a lot of them. They're all over the map. They're very easy to get a hold of. So what I've seen a lot of people do is they'll run it with an alternator, and then they'll just tap them like that. Does it work? Yes. Is this better than just doing that? I don't know. I guess so. I guess it's quite a bit faster. Because, you know, it takes a while to burn through their shield. But even if we were to take that off, which I think this is a more accurate representation early on, you know, hammer point's very easy to find, alternator's very easy to find, so this would be a more accurate scenario, I think, for most people. But is it still worth it? I don't know. I don't know if it's... Like, that works just fine. But yeah, a lot of people like using it. A lot of people like to use the P2020. Both in early and late game. I've seen a lot of people in late game that will use it just as like a scare tactic. Like if somebody says, hey, this guy's cracked, and you come over and you do that to him, the enemy's going to be like, oh shit. Or if you do this, that's going to scare me even more. So P2020, it's fine. I'm not going to say it's a good gun. And I've said this in the past and people don't like it. I'm going to say it's an okay gun. It's nothing crazy. It's nothing wild. Its rate of fire, you know, it can fire as quickly as you can pull the trigger. Makes it really cool. Hammer point makes it very unique. Early on, if you drop in and you can end up with, you know, you can end up with a P20 with hammer point, you know, right off the bat. That's one thing. You know, mainly because when you first spawn in, pretty much everybody's on the hunt for armor, so if you just hit the ground and, you know that most of the enemies around you, hang on, I gotta stretch, and you're looking at most of your enemies most likely don't have armor yet, it's fine for that. But that is, again, that's assuming that you manage to find that hammer point right off the bat as well, which I don't know how often that's gonna happen. I'm sure that it will, but I don't know. I can't give this gun like a full pass. I just can't do it. But this right here, this is one of my absolute favorites. The R301. Oh, baby, baby, baby. So this gun is very similar to the Flatline that we looked at before. Very similar accessory loadout. Very similar weapon. It's an AR. Light AR. It's basically a light ammo version of the Flatline, as far as I'm concerned. Very, very similar. Very accurate. Very high damage. Very quick rate of fire. And it also can take that anvil receiver, so you do a lot of single shot damage. Look at that. 70 to the head. 3-shot kill. 1, 2. Oopsies. 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. What the hell happened there? 1, 2, 3. Oh, I must have gotten a body shot by accident. But yeah, R301, there's not a whole lot that I could say about it. It's an extremely good gun. The damage is really good. The accuracy is really good. It's just an absolutely phenomenal gun. R301 has been one of the best weapons in the game since day one, and I think it will remain that way. Sorry. Needed my nicotine again. Alright, now, R301, R99. But I think we can all agree these are two of just the best guns in the game. There's not much I could say about them since they've been talked about to death. They are both absolutely phenomenal guns. R99 does a ton of damage. For me, I get in trouble using it at long range because I'm not good at controlling the recoil long range. But I've seen people that can use this thing from like this kind of range and just hammer with it. Burst fire is actually a lot better at range with this thing, like 5-round burst. You can decimate with it. But yeah, R99, amazing gun. There's not much I can say. Look at it. Watch, ready? It's beautiful. It's a beautiful thing. Especially if you can get all those rounds in the head like that. Oof, you are just destroying the competition. So, R301, R99, both incredibly, incredibly, incredibly good guns. I love them both very much. Alright, so after the R99, we're going to talk about the alternator now. This one it's another one of those guns where some people really, really love it to the point that they actually use it as a regular end game gun. They use it past round 1. For me, this is more of like a really good, I just hit the ground and I need a gun right now. This is a good gun for that. Its damage is solid. So as you can see, we're going to do 15 body, 23 head. So it makes for a very good TDK weapon, especially if your enemy is no armor. If they're fresh in, no shield, dead, right? They were actually dead 1 bullet before that. So it's a great starting weapon, great drop-in gun. It's actually really good as a single fire weapon. If you just tap the trigger like this, so you can use it at like a decent distance. Not that you really need to, because honestly the recoil on this gun is actually really not bad whatsoever, especially with the stock on it. But the alternator is a great little SMG. It really is. Like I said, I'm not going to use it as like a final, like a end game gun. But it can, if you pick it up and you can't find anything to replace it, don't panic, because you're actually not in a bad situation. You know, it can take a lot of really good attachments, barrel, mag, scope, stock. You're in a pretty good position with this gun. Is its range great? Nope. But it does work, and it works fine. This is the other big change they made this season, is that they actually took the G7 off of the sniper list, and they moved it to the AR list. Which is super interesting. One of the things that people didn't like is that they felt like this gun with sniper attachments, so like a sniper stock and all that stuff, just made it way too accurate. Especially since you can put the double tap on it. People felt like it was just a little bit too accurate with that sniper stock. So they switched it to an AR. They kept everything else the same, so you can still put a barrel, magazine, double tap, all that stayed the same. But now it's an assault rifle as opposed to a sniper. And this gun is absolutely nuts. So if you can get headshots, it's a 2 trigger pull kill. Extremely fast time to kill. Extremely deadly accurate at all ranges. The recoil is almost non-existent, so you can see it kind of bang, moves up a tiny bit, bang, and then it hops up. So if you just pull down a little bit, not too much, just a little bit, just to get those bullets right on target, you're going to have a 2-hit kill. G7, absolutely nuts. This gun is absolutely nuts. And you can still use it as a bit of a sniper if you want with a 4x scope on it, which actually, it does help that double tap to be a little bit more accurate. But yeah, this gun is nuts. There's not much I can say about it. G7 is absolutely nuts. Now let's get into shotties, I guess. So we'll drop all this and pick up all this, and we'll grab ourselves a bolt. We'll grab ourselves some hammer point. We'll grab ourselves a 1X. So this is a very common setup you'll see people run right off the bat, early on game, with or without hammer point, on the Mozambique. So the Mozambique is one of those guns where some people say it's good, some people hate it. I fucking hate it. So let's put this down. So without hammer point, body shots. 1, 2, 3, reload, 4, 5. So the time to kill, look how long it is. Absolutely disgusting, and that's close range. Even point blank range, it's not helping. If you can hit the head, it doesn't change it. 45, Now this is how close you gotta be for it to count to the head, right? Like, you gotta be here. You gotta basically have your gun in their face for that headshot damage to be even somewhat consistent. But yeah, it's just not good. Now where it changes a little bit, because you can break their shield and then take away a chunk of their health, but you still have to reload. And even with headshots, okay, I should have said at this range with headshots. I guess it is a little bit better. I don't know though. I just can't. It just doesn't. It's just too unreliable, man. Like, the accuracy is so unreliable. I just hate this gun so much. I think that the Mozambique would be a lot better if you could put a choke on it. I think that would make this gun super usable. I just can't recommend it to anybody. I really can't. Like, it's just, I don't know, it's just, it needs a bigger magazine. Like, the bolt really needs to add ammo to this gun instead of the accuracy or the rate of fire. It needs to increase the magazine size. I think that would help out a lot, because right now this gun needs, if it had even just that 4th shell, it would make it so much better. Like, that's all that it needs, is to have that 4th shell. See, and then they'd be dead. And even without hammer point, it would still be so much better to have that 4th shell. But I can't recommend the Mozambique to literally anybody. It's just, oh god, I hate it so much. Even as like an early game weapon, like, the only time I'll grab a Mozambique is if there is literally no other guns whatsoever. Like, if it's literally the only gun that I can get my hands on, I'll use it, but just until I find literally anything else. Alright, now this is where we get into the good ones. So the PK, this is probably one of the most consistently good weapons in this game. Since day one, this gun has been absolutely nuts. Without the choke, it's just a regular shotgun, right? The range is pretty ass. Kinda sucks at, like, any type of medium range. Still does damage, but it's nothing to write home about. But, like, you know, it works, no biggie. But where this gets interesting is where you put the choke on it. Now, it's the exact same attachment you put on the triple take. So instead of doing that, you can, or instead of firing like a shotgun, you can put all your rounds into basically one slug. I mean, come on. That's what makes this gun super special. So you can actually, like, snipe people with it now. See what I mean? So the range on this gun goes from being, like, okay to really good. Like, look at that. That's nuts. You have a shotgun sniper. This gun is absolutely amazing. And actually in early game, so let me show you. So let's say we take the choke off. This is basically, if you drop somewhere, and you don't really have anything, you don't have like armor or anything, the Peacekeeper is basically your worst nightmare, because this thing at close range will romp you. It will destroy your life. 130 to the head. That's enough to take away a level 1 armor, right? No, it's not. It's enough to take away like a damaged level 1 armor, and it's enough to just completely fuck you up if you're fresh in the map. But yeah, PK is nuts. The PK is an absolutely disgusting weapon, and if you can get good with the Peacekeeper, you can pretty much just destroy anybody and everybody at any point you want. That's all I can say about it. It's nuts. It's absolutely nuts. Now, where is it? Boom. Now the EVA 8. This is a very love-hate relationship for me. The EVA 8. It's a semi-auto shotgun, so you can dish out a lot of damage in a very short amount of time. Anything like somewhat medium range, it gets very shitty doing single digit. But if you're close range to somebody, there's no better. I honestly think that I like it more than the PK just because of the damage output. But then you go ahead and throw a double tap on there, and it just gets stupid. 2-shot burst, just like the G7. Now again, that range does get very, very shitty very quickly. See? But if you're close to somebody, and you can get a full shell into somebody's body, look at that. They're almost dead. It's craziness. It's absolutely nuts. So EVA 8, great shotgun. If you get a double tap for it, grab it. If you don't feel comfortable with a PK, maybe you don't feel like you're accurate enough or whatever, or you don't like the reload or the cocking or whatever, EVA 8 is an amazing, amazing, amazing replacement for it. I love the EVA 8. I would prefer an EVA 8 without double tap over a Peacekeeper without a choke. So base guns, EVA 8 over Peacekeeper. EVA 8 with double tap is a very close comparison to the Peacekeeper. It just very much depends on where you're going. If you're going to be taking a lot of fights that are going to be short range, close quarters, EVA 8 double tap all day long. But if you're going somewhere where you'd like to have the ability to do either close quarters or long distance, Peacekeeper choke, no joke, all day, every day. I didn't mean to rhyme there either. Alright, so the only things we have left to look at is our drop guns. So the Kraber hasn't changed. Same old gun that it's always been. 297, one shot to the head. Doesn't matter what range you're at, doesn't matter where you are. It's gonna kill you with one shot. Here, we'll go up here. We'll go up about as high as we can go. Yeah, we'll just go over this way. Now, the crazy thing with the Kraber is people can get, like, some really insane, like, some really crazy long-distance shots with it. Let's see. Can we hit those guys from up here? Yeah, we can. So, this is about 493 meters away. So, about here. Pink! And there's some even farther ones, isn't there? Or is that it? I'm making that up. There we go, 700 meters away. People can hit these shots. I can't because I'm trash. But there's people that can hit that shot, like, without even trying. We were low. We were low. What? Let's see where it's going. Alright, right there should do it. Yeah, there's people that can hit these shots and just do it all day. And I just don't get it. But yeah, the Kraber is an extremely, extremely, extremely powerful gun. It's the highest damage single shot weapon in the game, or per bullet weapon in the game. Even body shots are absolutely devastating. Leg shots even are absolutely devastating. If you like sniper rifles, check care packages, get yourself a Kraber. But they're rare. You're not going to come across them every game or every other game, but if you can get one and you're a good sniper, you're going to win. Now the Mastiff, this is my favorite right here. This thing is nuts. It's a shotty that does crazy damage. Look at that. Boom. Its rate of fire is pretty good, so you can just double tap somebody, and the range is actually really good on it as well. to have this kind of range and be able to hit for that hard, it's actually not as good as a Peacekeeper with a choke for distance, but for close range, this thing is about as good as it gets. See that? Even to about here, you're still rocking them. So Mastiff is just a crazy good shotgun. And the big difference is that the Devotion is now a box weapon. They've actually changed it up a little bit, so it's just nuts. It ends up being very accurate, very high rate of fire, very high damage with a turbocharger. Instant. Instant. Instant kill. It's a nuts gun. This gun's nuts. It's a crazy, crazy high damage LMG. Best gun in the game right now as far as I'm concerned. If you get one, and you can use it and you can control the recoil, you are pretty much just going to destroy everyone you come across. And even at range, to just try to chunk somebody, like, it doesn't get any better. The Devotion is just nuts. So, like, come back here. Little 2-shot burst, you're still destroying your enemy. This gun's crazy. This gun's absolutely crazy. That's all of them. That's all the guns. That's it. My favorites for sure is the R99, R301, Spitfire, Flatline, Peacekeeper, EVA 8. I like the new Sentinel. I don't use snipers a whole lot though, but the Sentinel's really good. I do love the triple take. The Longbow's okay. I really don't. I pretty much like every gun. The only guns that I really don't like to use is pretty much like, I really don't like the LStar. It has its uses, but it's not for me. The Prowler is good as long as it's got full auto, but I rarely use it. I hate the Mozambique. I really don't like the R45 either, but I will use it out of necessity. That's pretty much it. Like, I pretty much like all the guns. They did a really good job of making sure that all the guns in this game had a purpose, and that they did something. So they did a really good job with making sure that all the weapons in this game were gonna be used by somebody. You know, they did a really good job of that. So I give them a whole lot of credit, because that's not something that's easy to do, you know, to add only a handful of guns into a game. You know, like, there's still a lot. There's like 18 weapons or something. It's not easy to make a game where you have that many weapons and there's really none of them that are bad. You know, you or I might hate one of the guns, but just because we hate them, that doesn't make them bad guns. You know, someone out there really likes those guns. So they've done a really good job with it. I give them a lot of credit. And yeah, that's about it. And let's end on this. Oh, wait, what? That doesn't kill you? How does that not kill you? But if I shoot it... What? Wait, what? These ones up here don't kill you? Hang on. There you go. Alright. Weird. Anyway, that's it for the live stream, guys. I'll be back in a couple hours so we can actually play some Apex. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I know this is a really bad live stream. I know it's a really bad video. I'm not very articulate. But, yeah, I hope you enjoyed. If you have any questions, stop in the live stream anytime and ask.